Okay, good day. I made a promise on that I was gonna share a video on the concept leech your way through the university. Alright, these are for guys that um you know finding it difficult to cope, or you probably been thinking, how am I going to survive? I just got an admission. How am I going to cope? How am I going to pull through? Like, I've not got the financial capacity to see myself through school, through the higher institution. So, how am I going to go through this? Maybe you're not financially capable and all that. So, I spoke on the last video about the concept of leeching your way through school, through the university, and that's what I'm going to be talking about today. So, for those of us that have been asking for that, the knowledge behind that. Okay, here it is, leeching your way through school. So I just gave a few points that we're going to discuss, and I'm trusting that at the end of it, you're going to know how to cope. Because I believe as a Nigerian student in a Nigerian institution, a lot of things happening, a lot of people who are, finding it difficult to cope, finding it difficult at the end of a session, finding it difficult to pay the next school fee, or to get an accommodation, finding it difficult to cope, feeding stuff. The times are getting harder, and it's not easy to cope as a student, and yet you still see thousands of students getting admission every passing year. And I think this knowledge might be of help to you if you're amongst those thousands who really want to go to school, really want to be in school, really want to pass through an higher institution, but then you considering, how am I going to cope? How do I go about it? How do I get funds? How do I pay for my school fee, my accommodation? I don't have help, stuff like that. I think this would be um, helpful to you. All right, lead your way through the institution. All right, I'm going to just go straight to the point. List a couple of things I want you to know about. You can start doing some of them. You can start enacting, and I'm sure it's going to be of help to you, because these things are from experience. Because I did the same thing while I was in school, and a lot of persons who are young, you getting admission into a university, you're just 16, 17. I think I know a story of a guy, who got admission at the age of 16, but the parents didn't allow him go into the higher institution because they felt he was young, he was too young. I got admitted at the age of 16. I graduated at the age of 21. So it's possible. Being young is not a cause for you not to be in the higher institution. I think the younger the better. Only that you just have to do your best not to be naive, so people don't sit on your head in the uni. Alright, the first thing I want you to do as a Nigerian student, you just got admission, you probably thinking, how do I fund myself? I think in the concept of leeching your way through the university, you have to be a relational type of person. Even the Holy Book said that he that must have many friends must show himself friendly. And I think this helped me because I was a friendly type. I was more of an extrovert. But if you're an introvert, then maybe you have to take this very serious. You have to learn how to make friends. Yeah. I'm not trying to bring those motivational talks about your association and all that. I'm telling you, whether good friends or bad friends, just know how to make friends. One thing I think you should do is that look out for people who are well to do. Now, there are categories of people who come into the higher institution. There are people who are the high class. There are people who's got parents who knows how to fund them, who knows how to who sends them money. They are the big boys in the school. And they are the middle class who they are okay, they can fend for themselves, they got one or two coming from home. Then there's the low class, some of us who we have to call home 10 times before they send us what we demand. So we get to disturb home a lot of times before they can deliver what you want. And you're in those categories, then you should pay attention to this, because I think if you find yourself in that category, the first thing you want to do is relax. Relax. And there's a statement I've been hearing a long time. Parents have been telling me, elders have been telling me. They said you don't train a student in school by yourself. Like a student or a child is not trained in school just by his parents. So there are a lot of other persons. You've got uncles and aunties, friends and well wishers, relatives who comes together to make sure you graduate. not just a parent alone. So this is what I want you to do. First thing I want you to do is relax, think. Among your colleagues, there are people who are well to do. Now, in the area of your fee is what I want to handle now. In the area of the school fee, if you're not really good, in all that, I'm going to give you step-by-step things you should handle. But the first thing I want to talk about, if you're not really good in maybe you're not good in talking to people, but I want you to just relax. Write a list of persons. I am talking about your friends, because I'm going to share my story. I was in school and I think I got funded twice. Yeah, twice in school, twice. Yeah, I had one time I tell you the truth. You should know how to be relational, because then I think I was in my 300 level and I just happened to be very, very open type of a person. So I related to the class coordinator and I was like, okay, look at my predicament now. A lot of persons might feel like they can't do this, they are shameful, but you don't have to open yourself up. You just relate to your class coordinator. Yeah, that's what I did. And I was like, okay, I've got issues in my fee, one or two things, and I really don't want my name to be open like that, but I want you to just relate to the group chat and tell them that, hey, somebody in the class hasn't been able to pay for his school fee yet, and he needs help. And that was it. And thank God I was a relational person and I was a respected person, and they already knew me. I was a good guy, in school. So the class coordinator took it up and posted on the group chat that evening that, okay, there was one of us, a student, who is having issues paying the school fee, and the school fee is already running up. If the whole class, I think we had about 200 to 300 students in the faculty. It was in the faculty group chat, so it was like if the whole faculty could contribute what they could or what they can, and I started, they brought an account number and people started contributing 1,000, 2,000, 3, 5, 10, and all that. And guess what? I had surplus, and I actually used it to pay my fee. So I didn't try to use it to do something else. And there was nothing, nobody knew about it, nobody was aware about it. Paid my fee, and that was something I never thought that would be possible, that. And that happened 2 consecutive times. The other time it was my roommate. I'm going to talk about that because that's the second part. And so my roommate mother, I just told my roommate that I think I'm going to also need help in funding my tuition fee again this session. And he was like, okay, he's going to talk to his mom. He was a big boy. Talk to his mom, and that was that part. So I think if you're having issues paying your fee, there are things you can do. If you could get close to your coordinator, the faculty coordinator, and you can just relate to it. You don't have to be shy or ashamed about it. All you have to do is tell them not to make your name known and help. Believe me, student help. If you find yourself in such a condition, don't think nobody would help. Everybody would be willing to help. 500, 1,000, and that's how you could get your fee paid. At least, even if not completely, you could get half of that paid. So that's one of the ways you can lead your way paying your fee. Another thing, the lecturers can come in handy. I because I was a relational person, I related to a lot of persons. Lecturers knew me, students knew me, and they knew me as a good guy. So we're one of those few people who who was the good boy you want to emulate in school. But then we did not allow financial needs to constrain us. So we always look for how best can we sort this out, make this possible. And guess what, I'm a graduate now, and all those things, they're only experiences I can share with people, because I get a lot of persons who are frustrated, depressed, that they are not able to pay their fee. There are friends in your level who are spending money, and all you have to do is just be very, very wise and very smart about it, and meet 1 or 2 persons, and they could just make things work out easily for you. And guess what, you might not even need to show your face and all that. Just do it codedly, if I'm going to use a word like that. Your lecturers can come in and be meeting them also for help and all that. So that's by the way. Now another thing that happened in the area of my accommodation, because I lived in the school, I wanted to get an accommodation. I didn't want to be coming from a far distance from home, so I had to migrate to the campus, and then I had to pay an accommodation fee. Definitely I had to do that. But then it was one thing that I think I did that I'm sharing now some knowledge that really helped. Really helped. I leached my way in getting the accommodation. It was a smart thing to do. I had a friend. He was was big, wealthy, had parents who had money. They were well to do. And I noticed that this guy, they're always funding him, every month, stuff, many things are always coming every week. And he was in my class. We read together, we go for night reading together. So I thought about, how about I be friends with this guy? Was a big guy. I approached him, and one or two I started relating with him. He was the baller. He loves playing ball, but me, I didn't. But every time I would just follow him to the field. He play, I watch. We go back together. I hold his phone while he's playing, and actually he was given a house in the school. That his parents rented a place for him, a very good place, conducive place. He had a refrigerator, he had a bed, he had the wardrobe. Yeah, he was living the big life. He was alone in the house, in the place where they were rented for him. So sometimes I just go into his house, and I'm not ashamed to say this. I go into his house, and because of the relationship I was trying to create with him, I go there. I find myself just helping out with some stuff, helping put the house in order, just if there's some dirty plates to wash, I just wash them. We eat together, we cook, then I wash all the plates together, and the relationship just blended. And I discovered he saw that I was needed in the house, keeping him company, helping him do some chores, because big men children, he wasn't really the want to stress himself type. So I just fit into that position, unashamedly. And guess what? Weeks after, he was like, we suggested I move in fully, and that was my goal at the first place from start, being friends with him. And that was I moved in with this guy in his own very very own apartment, and we became roommates. I never had to pay fee again, and I lived like a big boy. Now his parents became aware. It was the same guy that I said his mother paid my fee one time. I think we became so close. I lived with him for long, and his parents became aware that we were together. And so when they're sending food stuff, they send for two. They ask your friend, your roommate, how is he doing? Fine. They send for two. If they're buying beverages, they buy for two, and we live well. And that was how I was able to leech. Most of you will be wondering, this leech I'm using. Leech means like you possibly you got yourself, how do I use the word now? You just join yourself to something, and you survive through that. I think that's if I can explain the word leech, there's actually an organism called a leech, So you can just attach yourself to something and get yourself sustained through school. So one of them is through your level mates, people who you feel are well to do. All you have to do is just be relational, be smart. Don't be ashamed, don't be scared. You know what you want, plan it and go for it. And 100 level, 200, 300, 400, 500, I had my fee paid. I had a good conducive place to live. I was living like a big boy, and yet I was not offering anything. So I'm thinking, if this information might be good to you, you probably having issues, I think you should relax. Look for 1-2 persons if the person is approachable, you can approach him. Say, see, okay, this is what, like, I remember staying with this my friend. I had something to offer. Yeah, I had something to offer. I was willing to offer my services, help him out with the house chores. My company that was very much needed, because we just vibed, and because of my relational type of a person, we vibed immediately. I helped out, and he was willing to help me. We just blended, and that was how I got my accommodation issues solved in the school throughout till I graduated. And even till now, we are still in touch. We are still good friends. So like I said from the start, if you must have friends, you must show yourself friendly. So you must be able to relate to people. It will help you. It will do you a lot of good. You can get anything you want in school if you are friendly. And most of you might think, should I be friends? How do I select friends? If you really need what you want, I don't think anything should stop you. I don't think anything should stop you. If you really want what you want, you just have to relax. Pick 1 or 2 persons can help you, and relate with them. Relating to people is something that would save you a lot of troubles, a lot of stress through school. Alright, that's on the aspect of people. Now, another thing you can do to help yourself through school is, I think I wrote here, starting a business. Yeah, you can start up a business. I did that too. A lot of things I did to fend myself through school. So many things. You can start up a business. And the first point I used there, we're talking about the concept of money here, starting businesses. You should know what it means to start a business in a university. It doesn't take much. All you have to do is just look at the predominant problem or challenges that they are facing. And I think I have I don't know if it's here. I should have, I don't know, maybe should it be here, but I had a little pamphlet of somebody who created a pamphlet, on how to calculate CGPA and sold it, and that was a lot of money for him. So a lot of things you can go into that would actually fetch you money in university. What you have to do is, identify a particular challenge rather, a challenge that a lot of students are facing, a lot of students are finding difficult to handle, and then look for how to provide solution to it, then monetize it. And that pamphlet I was talking about, that pamphlet I was talking about, it was a little full scarf, and in it was a detail, a very clear detail on how to calculate your CGPA. A lot of students then were finding it difficult to calculate that CGPA, and somebody just thought about it and, okay, how about I just put it into writing, and the person was able to give step-by-step details on how you can calculate your CGPA, and even broke it down, give the gap. All you have to do is just fill in your different results and you get to calculate it. And she did that, and the person did that for the different 4 sessions or 5 sessions of your time in the university, and made it easy for people to calculate that CGPA. And guess what? Sold it for 300 naira, and a lot of students, literally all the students, bought it. So imagine a whole school buying something you made, giving you 300 naira. All she had to do was supply it to those who were printing the printing presses around the school, and they were selling it for 300 naira, and they gave her a cut. That's how she was able to make thousands of naira, hundreds of thousands in school. So a lot of things you can do, and just like calculating CGPA was a problem in school, you can just identify a particular problem. If it's the issue of NEPA security, then you have to just maybe look for how to get a phone booth or charging booth. It doesn't take much. 50,000 is enough for you to make a sustainable charging booth if you have a generator. If you don't have a generator, then you might think of buying a generator, to start a charging booth. Another thing you might want to go into is laundry. I remember a friend of mine who was, a girl also. I think ladies are very creative. A girl, and I think the laundry around the school, a lot of laundry guys in the school, who were boys who really didn't have time to wash their clothes and do their laundry. They take it to the laundry guys. They take it to the laundry place for them to do it on their behalf. But this particular girl, this was what she did. She went around telling her friends, telling people in the school that she actually washes clothes. Normally when you take your clothes to a laundry, a normal polo to dry clean a normal polo should cost 200 naira. 200 naira, they dry clean it, fold it, iron it, package in a nylon, cost 200 naira. I don't know, whenever you're watching this video it might have increased, but then in the school it was 200 naira. So what she did was that she agreed to wash for 50 naira. Normally you would wash, iron, package for 200 and delivered for 200 naira. But then she was not doing ironing, she was not doing packaging, she was just doing washing. So all you have to do is bring your sack of clothes, because washing is what the clothes need. Whether it's ironed or not, many of us don't care, don't give a shit about that. So what you have to do is you just bring your bag of dirty clothes, you count them, and if it's 10 pieces, 50 naira, that's 500 naira. All she did was she washes them for 15 naira, and look, lots of students patronize her. A lot of students, she was even refusing students. But when it comes to washing things like towels, she charges 100 naira. Bedspread, she charges 100 naira, 200 naira actually. But she just bought normal polo, normal polo, she charged 50 naira, and it was easy. She ended up buying a washing machine, and that even made the job even more easier for her. And she was making cool money. She did that thing, and that was able to sponsor her through school. All you have to do is just be creative. As a student, you ought to be creative. It's gonna be funny that you're in school and you're only stuffing up ideas and knowledge that you're being taught in the class, lecturer is teaching you, and yet you are not creative enough on how to make money, because the end point of you going to school is to come out a successful student and then get a job. But I don't think you should be waiting to get a job. You should already create a job while in school. I think I was in my 200 level when I started my first poetry business. That was one of the things I did. I started poetry business. The school was willing to give us a place to do our poetry, and guess what? It was big. I think we sold the first 200 beds, the first 500 beds. We did even up to 800 beds as students, 300 level students, and these were things that we're able to put together, and it was fetching us money, streams of income while in school. And when I tell you the truth, if you really want to go to school and you don't have the right fundings, you can do things that will fetch you money, and you live large. I tell you the truth, you live large, you live very fine. All you have to do is be creative, find things your hands can do, be relational also. A lot of things I've noticed people doing in school, you can pick them up. It always originates from problems. So if you're able to find a particular problem that people are complaining about maybe theft, them stealing their clothes when they wash them, you can just go into laundry business. You have to do is, that's an advantage. When there's a problem or challenge people are complaining of, look for how to put a fast solution to it and then monetize it. Believe me, students are so lazy that they will come to you. They will come to you. I know of a guy also who sold materials, summary materials. Now maybe the lecturer gave notes and the notes are so much you can't study them. You just wish you could get them summarized. There's a particular guy I know of back then in school. If he takes all the notes, he packs them, all the materials that has been given for that particular lecture, he summarizes them. And maybe there are 50 pages. He summarizes them to 5. Summarizes 50 pages to 5 pages, or maybe 10 pages, and if it really needs that kind of clarity. And somebody that is always very, very tired to study 50 pages just picks up 5 to 10 pages, and she feels encouraged to study it. And all you have to do is just pay for the summary material. So he summarizes the material, the particular course in his department. He photocopies it. He gives it to the people who does the printing, photocopying this thing, and you go buy from them, and they give him their cut. So amazing things. And this guy was making cool money. A lot of people who want to read that particular course, they just go and get his summary, because his summary is detailed and well explanatory. That's how he was able to turn people's complaint of having so much to read, lecturer dropping materials. Where am I going to start from? He just thought about people are complaining about it, and then he thought about the solution. How about I summarize this particular bulky material into 5-10 pages and allow people buy, and he made a lot of money. So a lot of things you can do. All you have to do, I don't have to go into details of the different things you can do to make money, but it all stems from you identifying a challenge, and then first of all relaxing, thinking of a better way, a creative way, a very innovative way to solve it. And then after solving, you monetize. Monetize is add a monetary value to it, to that particular challenge you solve, and then give it to people. So much you're gonna make. So I'm gonna end there because of time. I think next time I believe next time I'm gonna discuss on something more important about the school life and the different things we see in the school life. So I want you to stay tuned. If you're new into the higher institution, you want to click on the subscribe button, like the page, and follow so you can get more notifications, because there are a lot of valuable content you're going to get here as a Nigerian student. I love using the word Nigerian student because many of the things I'll be saying are related only to Nigerian students. So it's nice to have you around once again. I'll see you on the next video.